day I waged a war down the cornerstone, told them all to die, laughed when they all cried. It's life, it's life, it's life, the rise and fall of the Third Reich. Look at my world, see how it ends. Boy against girl, a friend against friend. Hatred never will be saved. It digs itself an early grave. Just like, just like, just like the rise and fall. Just like, just like, just like the rise and fall. The rise and fall of the Third Reich. Hello, welcome to Guitar Track. I am Richard J. Dowling, and this is Space Dude Major Tom. And given the nature of this week's song, it seemed a little bit disrespectful to have him glowing and lighting up. But so he's gone transparent for today's episode. I think you'll understand why. It works perfectly fine. And today's song is I think it's 73. I forgot to check. It's I think it's song 73 in the Song of the Week challenge. So we're still rocketing along. And it's the rise and fall of the Third Reich. And before I get into the lyrics, I'll just quickly talk to you about the music. So I started off just I like the Velvet Underground, Lou Reed, and his guitar style, sort of very choppy, rhythmic stuff. I like Ian McCulloch also sort of plays in a similar sort of style sometimes. And so I was just rocking along on two chords. I actually have another song with two chords. I'm trying to write a song with one chord. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I've got down to two chords. And if I might put a link below, because I think there's a live version with my group Forest and Dove. The song's called Kill Las Vegas, and it's about a guy who thinks that he's going to win a lot of money at Las Vegas. It wasn't to do with the shootings. It was actually written before there was a mass shooting in Las Vegas. But that song began as a sort of response to Viva Las Vegas. But anyway, that's a different song. That song only has two chords. It's B and E. But I was doing something similar. So starting on E. And lately I've been wondering, when I start the melody, what note shall I start the melody on? I mean, often I don't even bother, I just sing any old thing until something sounds good. But I was thinking, should I start on the first of the chord, the fifth? And I started on the third. So the third of E. And that is a G sharp, I think, yeah, or an A flat. So with melodies you have three choices. You can, once you hit a note, you can keep the note the same, you can raise it, or you can lower it. So there are not many options. I decided I was going to lower it. So that goes from the third down to the second. Sorry, it took me a while to figure out there. Whenever I start recording, I forget everything I know about music, which is not very much anyway. But so go from the third down to the second. Na, na. Then I realised that the one note, the E, is the fifth of an A chord. So you can sort of go na, 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 na. So you sort of go down to the A chord in the melody and then back up to the E chord. So it sort of had a nice sort of shape to it. And responding to the first line of the melody with that. Then the chorus came very, very easily because I just went up to the fifth of the. I think just lie, just lie, just lie. And when I hit that fifth, I'm not going to go much higher than that. So it was obviously it had to go down from that. So just lie, rise and fall of the third Reich. So that's the verse and the chorus, which are the same musically, harmonically at least. And for example, with the other song, Kill Las Vegas, it stayed the same the whole way through. But in this one, I felt like I needed some other musical element, primarily because I needed also lyrically I was writing the verse and the chorus before I had the middle eight section, but I knew that I needed a section which tried to explain a little bit more about the meaning of the song. So because everything else had been in major, I wanted to go to a minor, and so I went to F sharp minor, which is a relative minor of the A chord, because in related to the A major chord. So F sharp, then to it just sort of came out without even thinking about it. F sharp to D to A to E. I didn't sing that bit in the verse because I hadn't really worked out the notes, but there's going to be when I eventually record it properly, there will be a little bit of a transition melody there as well. Maybe I'll just play something on the guitar. But so from the E, that sort of section ends on the E, and then to go into the chorus, which begins on an E, you need a transition. So I just did a simple transition going to the fifth of the E, which is the B major. So musically, that's about it. And then lyrically, I was strumming, and when I'm writing the songs, I'm usually strumming with my feet up here on the bookshelf, which is not a posture I recommend health-wise, but it seems to be conducive to me coming up with ideas. And on my bookshelf, one of the books that struck my attention was, now I don't know, on the screen it looks reversed, but it is The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which is a fantastic book by William L. Shirer. Now it's a huge book, but don't be put off. I mean, if you're at all interested in history, it is a must read. I hesitate to say that it's an easy read given the subject matter. It's unputdownable. It's a really well written, serious history overview of the rise and fall of the Third Reich. So the title jumped out to me, and I thought, well, that would be an epic title for a song. But then, how do you approach that lyrically? And you could try and do a sort of a historic storyline of the rise and fall of the Third Reich, but I wouldn't be the person to do that. I wouldn't really know how to make that work. But it just occurred to me that the fall of the Third Reich was in many respects because of their own evil nature. I mean, what Goebbels spying on Goering's vanity, which led to them not invading because he wanted the Luftwaffe to have the sort of joy or the glory of invading England, and what was it, Bormann? They're all characters that end up fighting against each other and making decisions which lead to the fall of the Third Reich. And in a way, this, I think, is, you see over and over again in history how hatred and evil defeats itself, almost in a way. But these sort of big, sociological things. I mean, I couldn't write something like that. I'm more focused on the personal level. So I was thinking of it as being the rise and fall of the Third Reich within a person. By which I mean, I think we've all probably read accounts of people who had been Nazis or fascists or extremists, and who later on in life change and they repent. They learn the value of respecting and loving and living harmoniously with other human beings. So it's about a person who starts out as a fascist and racist, and who gradually learns that, or maybe actually he doesn't learn. I mean, this is a sort of thing, or maybe he's I don't know. You'd have to listen to it in context. I think it's sort of open, but I think that he learns that his way of life only leads to pain and death, just like the rise and fall of the Third Reich. So maybe it needs another section, now that I think about it, but or another, like a sequel song or something about his life afterwards. But so this is the idea. It's such an epic idea, and of course it's something that you want to be respectful of for all the people who suffered at the hands of the Third Reich. So I don't do it lightly, and I think this for me was the most respectful way of doing it, of trying to talk about it in a personal sense as one person's Third Reich, as opposed to trying to get all of the subtleties of the historical rise and fall. I wouldn't be able to do that. And that's it for today. So thank you very much. Sorry for the change of clothing between the takes, but I did the music take yesterday evening, and didn't have time to do this, and so today I'm doing the explanation, because I really wanted to do the explanation particularly on this video, the songwriting tips section on this video. But if I'd have boiled down my tips on for the things I learned from this song, I think it's the same as usual. In the sense that what works well in one song might not necessarily work well in another song. So, for example, I did a song with only 2 chords, Kill Las Vegas. That didn't need another section. This song, on the other hand, I felt needed another section, primarily lyrically, because I needed to give that twist, explanation to the song. So the bridge, I think, helps you maybe understand what's really going on in the song. And lyrically, inspiration is all around you. If you find it difficult to come up with lyrics, which I do, then often a book title or a painting title can be the springboard for something. I have been involved with a couple of songwriting Song a Week groups, and they do offer prompts, but I've never really gelled with prompts because I'm always in my own world responding to what's around me, and it just seems easier for me in that respect. But you may be the opposite and you get value from somebody else offering prompts. But in any case, inspiration is, like most things, is a case of you go looking for it, and it may strike when you're least expecting it. I mean, I've had this book for decades, I think, and never thought about using it as a basis of a song, but in the moment when I was looking, it just sort of resonated with me. So the other tip I'd give is do things that feel right, and you hopefully will be guided towards a song at the end of it. Anyway, thank you very much once again. I appreciate you listening to my music and to my ramblings. And I hope you're well, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.